You come to represent pop art more than maybe anybody else. What is pop art anyway? How would you define it?
Oh, can you answer that?
Yeah, they usually ask me these technical questions. I suppose if you had to make a definition, it would be painting or sculpture that revolves around commercial imagery or industrial images. Signs and symbols from the everyday life, things that you see all the time, repeated interminably, done in a sort of very stylized way. Usually the images themselves don't come from the actual subject. The artist takes the image from somebody else's reproduction, somebody else's depiction of it. Usually a photograph or a movie clipping, something from a magazine usually. That's probably the closest you can get to a general definition. Familiar images.
Yeah, well, most of us are aware of what the critics have said about it. One of the things they say is that, well, they say different things, but one of the things they say, Andy, is that this is sort of anti-art or art without feeling, or what have you. You get an emotional kick out of seeing these things that you do. I mean, seeing them original. You have that big Elvis Presley thing. You like Elvis Presley movies?
Oh, yes. Well, it just gives us something to do every day. I mean, that's the reason we do it.
I mean, could you pick something else just as arbitrarily?
Oh, yeah.
There's a vast field, I think, in everything in modern life.
Oh, yeah.
Andy picked the carpetbag as last year's picture of the year. I think he's the only person who made a list at all of any kind of 10 best pictures to pick the carpetbaggers, which indicates, I think, to some extent, the taste in movies. You like TV commercials.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking today that they should have all TV commercials with just soap operas in between, like a little bit. There's less soap operas and more TV commercials. But make them more entertaining that you'd have people watching the commercials like you watch, soap opera or something like that.
Well, let's get on to Andy's movies and to movies generally. I've heard a rumor, I'm sure Mr. Karp will deny it, or maybe even started the rumor that Andy's going to give up, you might say, the painting here, the static painting in favor of moving pictures. And I think it might be mentioned that Andy's been as prolific, even more prolific, relatively speaking, in movies than he has been in other things.
Well, he isn't going to make a living at it, I can tell you that. But you see 3 minutes of his movies, you see much of all of it. Actually, the image more or less goes on and on. It's sort of a comfort in a way to be able to walk back about 6 hours later and see the same image going on. But that's what it amounts to.
We have a new one called Screen Test.
Screen Test. Who's in it?
Mario Montez.
Mario Montez. He's in Harlot.
Yeah.
He's the one who eats banana.
Yeah.
I mean, the action of this whole movie is Mario Montez eating banana for about an hour and a half. Eating one banana after another, rather, sort of cyclical thing. I mean, and you see that tomorrow, in the House of Tomorrow, maybe, instead of having, say, a portrait on the wall, a static portrait, you might have one of those things, a motion picture of somebody, say, of your wife, just, or one's wife, just, so on, and that'll be like an objet d'art rather than what we've come to know as a movie. I mean, has that caught on yet? Any collectors come along for that?
No. We're thinking of doing a new movie, and we've been interviewing waitresses. So we're going to go into all the Bigfords.
What restaurants do you go to for the waitresses?
Bigfords.
Bigfords?
Yeah.
Oh, you get good types there.
And
they're mostly immigrants, aren't they? Just recently arrived.
I don't know.
No, I think Schrabb's hires them.
Yeah,
They have the Irish.
Bigfords, yeah.
They're cheap.
So we're doing a waitress movie.
What's the connection between your movie and waitresses? I mean, it's going to be about waitresses?
No, it's just that in Hollywood, all these people were always waitresses, and they were always discovered.
Your own movies are, I mean, most of the time you take one camera setup, you just leave the camera so the film runs out, and it's the film.
Scene 4, take 1.
Are we talking now?
No, you're not talking. You're not allowed to talk. Yeah. Can you see if it's focused?
Is there no sound on this? I can ask.
Oh no, that's not that's the light meter. That's okay. Just don't say anything when I plug it in. But look more there a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
What's the name of this picture?
It's called 50.
Just 50.
Yeah.
50 what?
Oh,
50. Just 50.
Just 50. Oh, you're on. You can't talk.
I can talk. I'll tell you. You want me to ask some questions, Andy?
Yeah. What's the library? What's the library, do you think?
What do you want to do?
4?
You
No.
can answer that?
Just 4. Okay, we'll put it on 4. Okay, you're on. You can't talk.
That's all.
That's all.
You stay there for 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Warhol movies make themselves.
Your 3 minutes are up, I think.
Yeah, so it's not too. It only accentuates, right? Yeah.
Oh, well, Andy is doing what Platon would call stretching canvas, which I guess is what artists do on television to show their artists. Why don't we sort of lob a few back and forth and let Andy act as scorekeeper on them, okay? Or Andy, the things that Andy is stretching are these colored blowouts of a picture of Jackie Kennedy. And I think Jack is in the background somewhat. And standing right behind you is Elizabeth Taylor. Now, these are the two most frequent faces that appear in these fan magazines. In fact, a lot of people criticize fan magazines for exploiting Jackie and so forth. And I just wonder at the instinct that leads Annie to seize upon these two things, which are really the symbols of fan magazines, etc. I mean, is it just accident or coincidence or what?
Well, we could ask Andy how he feels about that. Is it an accident, or are you as impressed by seeing these things all the time as everybody else is? What it amounts to. I mean, we all see them, but Andy says, well, there they are. I'm going to show them to you again, in his own way. That's what it seems like. I suppose it comes automatically from his peculiar instinct.
But is this, how do you feel about those fan magazines that, have all these stories about Jackie? You like the story? You like the heads on them? Or
oh, yeah. No, I like the whole story.
Andy sits back with such power that his sitting back is significant, It's the force of detachment that it represents, I think. And that probably in some instances has much force as the man of action.
Would you buy that, Andy?
Well, I think that Andy's art has a lot of what we call instant nostalgia built into it. These pictures are already nostalgic as soon as they occur.
Let's get into maybe the final, ultimate two questions, perhaps the least important, perhaps the most important. Is all this Andy does, is it good? Is it art?
Yeah. May I ask if pop art pretends to be great art?
Well, I haven't thought, well, I don't know.
We left pop art.
Oh, well, what are we left with?
New art.
New art. Pop art is a sign of time. It's with us to stay dead all the time. Oh. Yeah. I disagree completely. I don't see that it is with us.
Do you think that Michelangelo, when he was making pictures, set out to make great art?
I don't think he had to. I think that it was embodied in the work that he presented.
You don't think that he consciously set out to do it?
Just briefly. Do you have anything in mind when you start to paint?
Well, I just have to read a magazine.
You get ideas from magazines you read?
Yeah.
What magazine were you reading? What was the story you were reading when you painted Elizabeth Taylor?
It was when she was dying.
He's a living doll. Well, I think that's fabulous. I think the impact is simply terrific, and I'm dying for my husband to buy me an electric chair. Yellow one.
I think he had a good time. It was a swinging party. Every order.
Andy, do you feel that the public has insulted your art?
No.
Why not?
Well, I hadn't thought about it.
It doesn't bother you at all, then?
No.
Well, do you think that they've shown a lack of appreciation for what pop art means?
No.
Andy, do you think that pop art has sort of reached the point where it's becoming repetitious now?
Yes.
Do you think it should break away from being pop art?
No.
Are you just going to carry on?
Yes.
The Canadian government spokesman said that your art could not be described as original sculpture. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Why do you agree?
Well, because it's not original.
You have just then copied a common item.
Yes.
Well, why have you bothered to do that? Why not create something new?
Because it's easy.
Liberté de New York.
Well, because they're going to have the 100-year of celebration in New York, so I guess it's on everybody's mind.
Il édite aussi un journal Interview dans lequel il tâte du journalisme, une expression qui lui coûte une fortune. Alors il se lance corps et âme dans la TV qu'il adore.
On a TV show too, I'm trying to do the same thing you're doing, interviewing people, but I'm not very good at it.
No?
No.
Why? TV more than cinema?
Well, the TV is much more exciting. You know, with all the cable television in New York, there's like, you turn on your TV and there's like 50 stations. And you could just turn from station to station and you never get tired. There's so much to see.
And music, rock?
And music, yeah, they have music on all 24 hours of music. And,
Is life in New York as interesting now than 20 years ago?
actually, it's more interesting.
More and more?
Well, even Paris is more interesting.
Now. Alors, vous pensez, Andy Warhol, que la France est en train de retrouver sa place dans le monde?
Why did you decide to do pets?
Well, I got tired of doing people.
Did you?
Yeah.
Have you gone off people?
No, but I have some dogs, and I just thought I'd paint.
Have you, what, you've got 2 dogs of your own?
Yeah, one, they're called Amos.
What sort of dogs?
They're dachshunds.
Are they in the collection here?
Yeah, I think they're over there, or downstairs or something.
Now, for people not familiar with the way you go about it, how did you actually do them? What's the process involved?
Well, I take a photograph, and then I blow up the photograph, and then paint on the photograph, and then screen over the photograph.
Would it matter who took the photograph?
Well, gee, I like to meet the dog, so I always take the photograph.
So what happens now? People, if they want a portrait of their animal, can commission you?
Yeah.
And what, this is the first one?
Yeah, this is the first one. It's the nicest dog I've ever met.
When will you do it?
It's nicer than my dog.
Is it?
Yes.
Do you work hard? I mean, I suspect...
Well, I just work all the time.
All the time? I suspect a lot of people think you maybe just snap a few Polaroids, blow them up and splash a bit of paint on, but...
No, we have a newspaper and I have to do a lot of interviews. And
So-
I never know what to ask, so that's hard work for me.
Are there any famous people you haven't met you'd like to meet?
No.
You've met them all.
No. Just some nice horses.
Some nice horses you
Yeah.
haven't met yet?
Yeah.
You like meeting animals?
Well, horses.
Horses more than...
Yeah. They're great.